Hello and welcome back to Design. Today, we're going to be talking about the most interesting part of construction, because at this stage is when you start to see things coming to life and you start to actually see the rooms in your house. At this stage, we're going to be in depth talking about the exterior and the interior when it comes to construction and finishes, and everything you need to know in between. Here we are again with Engineer Yusuf. We're continuing our journey into finishing up designing your home and execution. Today, we're going to be talking after block work and skeleton work. What happens? Welcome back with us, and thank you for having us in this lovely house.
Thank you very much. After skeleton works, we will start with the plaster work. Plaster work cannot be started until we finish the electrical and the HVAC and the plumbing and water supply. All of these items should be done before the plaster work.
As infrastructure, as just preparing for it, but not the actual finishing up.
No. We can, only the piping itself. Because after the piping, we start with the plaster work, which has also many stages to reach the final finish of the plaster. Yeah.
Could you give us quickly what are the stages?
After we finishing the piping, we are putting metal lath on the pipes in order not to have any cracks during the plaster works. And after that, we are putting the guidelines, which are doing the dimensions of the room to be exact dimensions without any tolerance, reaching a very small tolerance, yani. And also, we are going to the base course, then the fine course at the end.
Okay, great. So after preparation and infrastructure of the piping work, the MEP, we started with the plastering. At the same time, we're also working exterior and interior at this point, correct?
At this point, we are, yes, it is different because also in the exterior, we have here two types of finishes. Right. We have stones, and also we have plaster and Sigma.
Right.
These also, we have also the MEP works before starting this work?
Of course. Yeah. I've noticed that your stone has like continuous pattern happening. And I assume, you know, a lot of houses, it looks just like optical noise. But here I see it's very homogeneous, it's continuous. How did you ensure this?
Well, it's very, very hard process to reach this homogeneity. It's called book matching for the stones. The book matching for the stones, it goes through many processes. The stonework, even, it goes many processes. Right. First, we should approve the material, which material to be used. Second thing, the fixation process. Then we are bringing material outside to be approved by the consultant. After that, the procurement. And also when we procure the material, we sort it out in order to reach this book match. Right. It's a long process, but the end product is very beautiful.
Looks beautiful. Yeah. And I assume there's always this issue happening when two materials are adjacent. Like we see there's Sigma and there's stone, and they both have different thicknesses, obviously, and different fixation method. So I assume this has all been
This one is studied during the shop drawing, what we call shop drawing. The shop drawing shows all the details of the work to be done. And we go through all of these joints between different finishes, not only in the walls, all walls and the floors and even ceiling.
Yeah.
If there is two different material, the relation between these two materials should be studied well and approved by the consultant.
Amazing. I noticed your work is looking very neat and clean. I even noticed your DP is kind of like recessed inside to ensure a flushed finish. I feel like that's
And even in the stone outside,
really.
even in the stone outside, you cannot see the electrical box.
Oh wow, so it's accessible as in
It's accessible and
no, it's not showing. So I also believe during the stage we work with the aluminium works, windows, doors, etc.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
How do you prepare for it and how do you select it? I noticed here, for example, you don't have an architrave.
yeah, this is one of the most important features here, which is also matching the interiors of the house. These without architraves, but the most important thing also, it's a very high quality aluminium, and this aluminium is imported from outside. So it has a big relation with the time schedule of the project.
Right.
It should be approved from the early stages as a material and as a dimension in order that doesn't affect the schedule of the project.
Wow.
These architraves, without architraves, also matching the shadow gap, which is the skirting, which is about 1.5 centi.
Wow.
1.5
So that's
centi
very
only this
intricate,
skirting.
huh?
Yeah.
Very nice. And you prepare for this also when you're doing the plastering or during which stage?
After we finish the flooring,
Yeah.
and we are leaving, I'll show you to you in other areas, we are leaving about 20 centimeters the lower part of the plaster. Then we fix this shadow gap, then we continue the plaster.
And before that, do we have to have the stone?
Yeah,
The flooring.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
amazing.
In order to be fixed 100%.
Great. So now we've spoken about plastering, aluminium works. Let's talk about our ceilings here.
Yeah.
I noticed that the AC diffusers here are actually very well placed and you don't see them disturbing your ceiling. They're very clean and sharp. Is this something that you do or is this the consultant?
This one is a joint effort between us and the consultant and the owner.
Really?
We studied the ceiling with the AC, with the lighting effect. There is a lighting specialist also here in this house
Yeah.
in order how to distribute the lighting and how much is the strength of every light. And this was amazing result. Even if you look at the ceiling, you don't see, for example, too many openings, which is
True.
giving you
Finish.
yeah.
And you see different like shadow gaps happening. I noticed around the edge, there's a shadow gap that is continuous and it kind of gives you a better tolerance
Yeah,
for those
sure.
corners. So I feel like we jumped the gun and we went straight into the detail part, but it's such a wonderful house and I feel like it deserves an introduction,
Sure.
right? So let's do that in our next segment and give you an idea about what they have done in this house. Welcome back. We're going to continue this journey and we're going to talk a little bit about a significant architectural feature in this house. They played a lot with their levels, up to 7 different levels. You don't even notice it, but it's maximized on the functionality of the space. Let's know more about it. Can you give us a quick introduction about this house?
This house is built on a land area of 400 meters square, and the total built-up area is about 1,300 meters square.
Right.
We have, as you said, too many levels.
Yeah.
We have basement, small basement. We have also 2 ground floor levels, lower and upper ground floor. We have a mezzanine. We have also first and second and third.
Wow.
The most tricky point in this thing is how to match between, because it's 2 different areas, the
Yeah.
house, and you have to make sure about the levels of the concrete and also the finishes.
Right,
To
right.
reach the required product.
Because of all these levels, it's very intricate, and you have to make sure you get it right. Otherwise, you kind of mess up the whole thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Especially in the concrete, then it also adds up in the finishing work.
Amazing. So you've told us so much about this complexity in the work that you're going to do and ensuring the architect's vision comes to life. There's so many parties at this stage, right? How do we ensure the supervision and the consultancy, the selection, all of this happening? Like, how's it like?
The main issue here is the cooperation between our contractor team, which is presented by our project manager, which is fully resident at the site, with the consultant and with the owner.
Right.
The three parties here are cooperating together to implement what's in the drawing and what's the intention of the architect
Right.
to be implemented in the house.
Amazing.
But also, our project manager has the full support from our back office, which is the draftsmen, the engineers, the architects, all the support, the material procurement, the selection, all of these support to our project manager to help to reach this results.
You touched on a point that I really wanted to go to. You said procurement and material selection. I've noticed here behind me there's a few samples happening.
Yeah.
Does this happen only on site, or is it coordinated prior? Like, how do we go at specification selection?
Actually, first, the material itself should be approved. Then we have the material selection. We are bringing samples of different samples of this material in order to be chosen by the architect and the owner, the client.
Really nice. That's good.
And even before constructing the item, also the material procurement, after we procure the material, it should be classified and sorted out to choose what is acceptable, which is not acceptable.
Right.
It's a long process to reach a good product.
Amazing. I'm going to go a little off topic here, and I just recalled something. When we're doing the stone, some of the veins may have like what they call, I think, a sus, or like a big cavity or whatever.
Cavities, yeah.
Does this mean you have to, like, because you're doing book match, are you removing everything and doing it again?
No, the cavities, you mean about the cavities?
Yes.
The cavities, it's about client and consultant preference, whether to be filled or not filled.
Ah, all right. So let's stick to the idea of stone, because a lot of people love stone on their facades. Can you tell us the different mechanisms of fixation, things or tips just people need to take into mind when they're implementing stone into their facades?
Yeah, the most important thing, usually in Kuwait, we are doing mechanical fixation for the stone.
Can you explain what that is?
Mechanical fixation, it means rods put inside the block. Then we are putting
like a secondary structure, let's say, that carries the stone?
Yeah, sometimes like this.
Okay.
But it's not, there is no cement behind it. Behind it, we are putting the insulation.
Insulation
Yeah.
straight away, and then,
Yes.
okay,
The
great.
insulation, then we are putting the...
And also I noticed some samples for the Sigma,
Yeah.
right? Can you give ideas, like there's different types, or how is it?
Sigma, the most important is the texture.
Yeah.
Which, whether it's fine or coarser, little bit coarser, it's different. We can see it.
Yeah, when it
down.
comes to the
Yeah,
facade.
yeah.
Because I feel like Sigma and stone are the most popular in demand in Kuwait,
Sure.
right? And if you're fancy, maybe you get some WPC, maybe, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Very
Because it's the price for this is similar to the stone.
Right? You might
It's
as well.
It's not cheaper material.
No.
Yeah.
When I first entered the space, I noticed the pool was filled. I thought it was rain, but apparently you're actually testing something.
Yes.
Right?
We are testing the pool after we are doing the waterproofing of the walls.
Ah,
This testing, many stages. The waterproofing even itself is many stages, and every stage is tested to make sure that everything is fine to go to the next step.
So for myself and my audience's understanding, Is it the contractor's job to take care of the installation of the pool, or do they hire like what do you call them, like specialized people for pools?
Yeah, we are working with specialized people for pools.
Okay.
Because this is not the only villa we are doing it.
Right.
But the most important thing before the waterproofing, and it should be highlighted to the clients, that the swimming pool equipment and contractor should be chosen from day number one.
Really?
During the concrete works. Why? Because there is piping inside the walls of the swimming pool.
Wow.
And this piping should be done during the concrete works.
Right.
It cannot be done after that. It will cause many problems to the swimming pool wall.
So can we say a subcontractor for pools has to coordinate with you from day one to ensure that...
Piping inside the walls is done.
So regarding the pools, we have the basic part where you're building it, and then we have the equipment, the room, the mechanical aspect, the engines. How is all of this
These
coordinated?
equipment are at the last stages of the project, but everything should be done before that. I mean, the waterproofing is done, the tiles also is done. Then we can fix these equipment at the last days, and also tested after the electricity is connected to the house and commissioned and given to the owner.
I'm gonna stay on this topic because I feel like there's a lot of confusion about it. So we've said tiling. I just want to understand exactly the contractor's scope of work when it comes to the pool, and the subcontractor that's actually bringing in the pool itself, right? Or who's handling the maintenance. Are they the ones who handle the tiling in this, or is it the contractor?
Okay, here, for example, our contract is called lump sum contract, turnkey. So everybody under our umbrella.
I see.
So we are bringing specialized people for the swimming pool, for the equipment. Our tiling people, we have them in the company to make the tiles.
Okay.
Specialized people for the waterproofing. So it depends.
That's very informative. Thank you so much. I believe next time we're going to be in a site that is completely finished, right?
Yeah, completely finished and handed over to the owner.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks again for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And stay tuned with us for the next episode when we go into a completely finished house.
Paint, it's a lot of opportunities. You can use it to create your wonderful world at home. So regarding paint, there is 2, 3, 4 kinds of paints available in the local market, especially with us, because we are a local company producing in Kuwait, and we have 2 factories, one in Sabhan and another one in Shuwaik. We can serve all Kuwaitis' needs when they start preparing and building their dream house. Starting from outside, the protective coating, it's very important to protect the concrete from the weather. We have to protect the concrete to avoid cracking and color fading if the product not correctly used. From outside, there is a lot of solutions. You can start with protective coatings, primer, followed with scratch plaster. We call it here scratch plaster with different sizes. It's available in 2 milli, 4 milli, 5 milli, 3.5 milli, any kind, 1 milli also. After we do this kind of exercises to give a natural look for your house, it looks same like a natural stone, we have to protect it with polyurethane paint. With any color, you can choose it from international colors, for example, RAL color, British Standards, NCS, or even if the customer required any special shade not available with those colors, we can prepare it because we have our own research and development and lab specialized to create any color the customer looking for. Usually for exterior paint or the color required in Kuwait, because usually we are living in the middle of desert and there is a lot of dust. So we prefer to go for light color. First of all, it will be easy to avoid the stain in the paint. And second things, it's easy to clean. Usually, the majority of our clients, they go for light gray color, beige, light beige. So this is the majority of our client required. But we are open, we can produce any color based to our client requirement. This is external. Let's go internal. We prefer internally to go for water-based paint. Water-based, why we decide to go for water-based? We have all kind of paints in our factory, starting with water-based, alkyd, epoxies, polyurethane, all that one it's available. But technically and for health issue, we prefer to go for water-based paint because you can mix that paint with water. So once you mix it with water, the VOC, it will be less. Once you paint your house, it will not hurt the people sitting inside. The smell, it will be very less or near to zero. And all the colors, it's available. And very important things to let you know, we have different shades. And here it's very important to discuss the shades, not the color, the shades. Because the color, it's available, as we mentioned before, and the RAL, British Standard, NCS, even any color the customer asking for. But here we will start talking about the bright or the glossiness of the paint itself. We have it available in matte, we have it available in semi-gloss, we have it available in eggshell, we have it available in gloss, fully gloss. So here, the interior designer, he will decide based to the lighting inside and internally, they will decide to go for example, the ceiling, we prefer to go for matte to avoid problems or reflection. It will hurt the eyes of the people sitting at home or any place at home. For the wall, it depends of the customer. We can go for eggshell. This is a perfect product to be applied at the wall. Eggshell or semi-gloss. A glossy finish, usually we decide to put it in the kitchens if required, or bathrooms to avoid moisture, and it will be more supportive if there is any water around inside the bathrooms. So this is a general information regarding the paint internally and externally. And there is another product which is very important to finish your house from outside inside, the roofing system. The roofing system is very important for us to give solutions to avoid leaking, because if there is any leaking from the roof, it will affect the paint. If you imagine you put paint, you paint your wall, everything it's perfect based on your requirement, and suddenly there is some leaking coming from the roof, and it will damage all what you prepare and what you work for. So in this regard, we have two kinds of products, easy to apply. One you can apply it direct, and the other one you can apply it with fiberglass inside it. So it will give you extra reinforcement, and it will remain for long. It's available in two colors, gray and white, and we prefer white because it will reflect the sunlight and it will give cool to your house. So this one, once you apply it in the roof, it will manage and it will protect your concrete from any water absorption, and it will give you a very long lasting and protective from leaking, to avoid problem in your paint internally. To have the perfect shade or to have the perfect color, you have to hire a designer or interior designer engineer to prepare and fit properly the lighting. The light is very important at your home because the light, it will reflect properly the color and the shade, especially the spotlights. If it's not in the correct place, it will give you a wrong reading. What you see sometime outside in the showrooms, when you are deciding to purchase your paint, you will find that that color is perfect and this is what we are looking for. When you go home and you apply the paint, you will find it, oh no, this is not what we are looking for. The color, it's not the same. No, the color, it's the same because we are following the technical and the international standards to give the same color, but only the things or the wrong there at your home is the light. The lighting, it's very important to have the proper and the correct shades, especially during night time. And I will repeat it again, it's very important for your ceiling to be matte to avoid problem and the reflect. It's very important for me, okay, to avoid any mistakes in your design. Also, I would like to add, when you start your application, the paint, it's very sensitive, and no one from the street, sorry to say this, he can do this kind of job properly. You have to find the professional and the person he can do this paint properly and with very high experience. Why? Because if you mix the paint wrongly, if you add extra water or extra detergent, it will give you on return different solutions, different color, different texture. So in this regard, what I advise all our customers in the local market in Kuwait to find the professional applicator with a good reputation to do the application, and that application, it will remain for long. I would like to give advice for all future homeowners to take care from the beginning to choose the applicator, professional applicator with very good reputation. Second things, to choose the good paint, good quality of paint. After that, when you do the application based to our specification, the paint, it will remain for long. How you can take care about your paint after you paint? The paint, it's suitable to be clean. You can clean it by water. It will not change the color. You can clean it. There is special kind of paint. You can put water, soap, and clean it. It will not affect the quality or the color. And after all, I would like to avoid or asking the owner to avoid any detergent such as perfume or thinner or any detergent. Sometimes it will fall down in the floor or in the wall. That one, it will affect the paint. Overall, the paint, it will remain for long. no problem at all because it's UV resistant. Even if there is any sunlight coming from your window, it will not affect the paint, the quality of the paint, because it's suitable for this. We have products specialized to stay for long, even under the sunlight. So in this regard, there is nothing, it will hurt your paint if you follow the steps, the manufacturer's steps. Only the one thing, it will hurt the paint, it's the detergent. So avoid detergent, and all the others, it will remain the same.